It's been over 2 years since we hear anything Silent Hill or anything about Silent Hill F. And finally, Konami breaks their eerie silence. Hey guys, Antonio from ThyGeekdom.com here, and welcome back to the channel. Now, there was this article from Games Radar that I came by this past week, and of course, I had to talk about it and basically read through it with you guys because it's about Silent Hill. Now, Silent Hill, for those who probably don't know, is my #1 favorite horror franchise of all time. I mean, we're talking about Silent Hill 2 for sure, and I love Silent Hill 1, 3, even The Room. I mean, those first four games were groundbreaking for horror video games. And of course, the infamous PT, the playable teaser trailer on PlayStation 4, I believe, which disappeared from the zeitgeist, was a great little taste of a new generation of Silent Hill games that we never got. And you know, in the past couple of years, we heard from Konami about new projects coming out. Last year we got the remake to Resident Evil 2, which of course I have to play, and I have to sit down and play. I have no excuse. I absolutely love that game to death, and I've heard only great things about that remake that they made. So anyhow, if we look at the article over here, basically they touch on how Konami is talking about the next Silent Hill game, Silent Hill F, which we did get some teaser trailers about, and saw that it looked very different from where we're used to in terms of the grimy or dark otherworld. In the teaser trailer, there was allusion to there being an otherworld in this game that is related to like flowers. I don't know, it's odd but different, interesting, and still a bit creepy and eerie. So that being said, I want to look through this article really quick with you guys, and then actually look at a video from Konami themselves and, you know, dig through it. So as a preface, I just really want to go through this article from Games Radar Plus. Okay. After 2 years of silence, the next mainline Silent Hill game is getting a dedicated stream this week with the latest news. This transmission will uncover Silent Hill F. Alright, let's see what we gotta say. Alright, it's been more than 2 years since, you know, they revealed Silent Hill F, the next mainline installment. And then between then and now, you know, we've gotten Silent Hill's short message, which, by the way, if you haven't played that game, it is a pretty cool short game. Actually, it takes longer than I thought. It's about like a 2-3 hour game, and it's actually pretty good. It's a first-person Silent Hill game, very reminiscent of PT, if you want to check it out. And of course, we got Silent Hill 2 remake. And then in a post in Blue Sky, Konami revealed that a new Silent Hill transmission stream, which we'll check out here in just a sec, to uncover Silent Hill F. And it's gonna be a full-blown reveal trailer, and they're possibly gonna share gameplay. Okay, so Silent Hill F is billed as an entirely new story set in 1960s Japan. Oh, I didn't know that, actually. That's good to know. That's interesting. Wow. Okay, I'm already theorizing, but let me finish this. 1960s Japan, and there's reason to be excited for it. It's being written by acclaimed visual novelist. Oh, okay, Ryukishi07, a horror artist and writing savant, best known as creator of When They Cry manga and anime series. I haven't seen that, which includes Higurashi, When They Cry. The game is being directed by Al Yang, creative director at Neobards Entertainment. Okay. All right, so basically that's it. So far what we got is it's set in 1960s Japan. So that is like 15 years after World War II. So okay, there might be something there, maybe, possibly, who knows. And we also have the florals, of course, like we saw in the article over here. We have this creature. I'm guessing this is like the pyramid head, potentially, of Silent Hill F. Maybe it's just a random character or image of like one of the enemies, who knows. But if you haven't seen the original teaser trailer that they released 2 years ago, it is kind of reminiscent of, to me, like Last of Us, where like in Last of Us, the I forgot what the zombie enemies are called, but the cordyceps or whatever, they're you know, they got like the cordyceps or the mushroom. But yeah, let's just check out really quick. Let's take a look at the teaser. Here it is. Let me bring it up. All right, so here we go, guys. We're gonna watch this Silent Hill transmission that came out on this past week on the 13th. I believe that was Thursday. So yeah, we're gonna check out this Silent Hill transmission released by Konami on YouTube, and I think it's like almost an hour long, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so it's about 45 minutes long. So we're gonna take a look, and then, you know, we'll react to it, and then just give you my thoughts. All right, so let's take a look. Okay. Silent Hill transmission, Konami #Silent Hill. Okay, is there anything else, or are we just looking at the screensaver? Okay, here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
私もサイレントヒル一作をそれ楽しんできました。今日はプレイヤーの
Okay, I just want to say that the environment, if they're standing in that environment, I imagine it's gonna be something like this. I'm already liking this look. Like, I don't know if this, whoa, why is my camera all of a sudden all close? What the, no, why did it, that's weird. Oh, I must have put my hands up. Okay, that was weird. Sorry. So, like I was saying, this environment already looks very reminiscent of Sirens. I don't know if you guys played Sirens before. It's another horror game, great game, but very similar, which actually Sirens in many ways, you know, feels like it took from Silent Hill, because I believe it came after. Pretty sure about that. But in terms of look and feel, just of like ambiance, this is a really cool setting for a Silent Hill. Now, it's very different because Silent Hill has always been set in the West, right, and in America. But that being said, since this game is set in the 1960s, there's a lot of possibilities there. I mean, this might end up being a prequel to Silent Hill, and basically the setup of everything that came afterwards in terms of like the cult and the religion of the cult and those gods or demons or whatever that the cult you know, praises, or you know, yeah, praises or whatever. So yeah, I'm already liking the setting. Just want to say that. I mean, the setting looks awesome. So definitely, just, I mean, obviously that's just one shot of the setting, but it looks great. Okay, here we go. The logo's pretty fire. Oh my god, those are in-game graphics. That looks awesome. Okay. Okay. There you go, the Mist World. Oh snap. Okay, let's see it. Oh wow, that looks awesome. Oh, that's awesome. That must be the other world. There you go. That's the floral other world I was talking about. Okay. How much longer will you stay there? There you go. I think it's weird too to not have a grasp of yourself. Oh my god, this looks awesome. To not understand your own feelings. Do you think it could be some dream we're having? Wow. Oh my god, it looks so creepy. I love it. Echo time is running out. Oh my god. Oh, the same. Oh, it's like Annabelle. You're still lost. You can't think about it forever. Running out of time to choose. You are. Why are you acting like you don't know what's going on? Think about it. Wow. Okay. Oh my god. Oh man. That was actually pretty cool. Okay, so far this looks pretty cool. Now, it feels very similar in spirit. Like it's very reminiscent of Silent Hill, and in terms of story tropes, elements. You know, we got the other world. The other world here seems basically it's a very floral world. It turns into like a rotten like garden in a way. Obviously you have the mist world there too as well. You have, in terms of story tropes, obviously this is a tortured character, the main character, or who seems to be our protagonist, this girl. She seems to have like a dark past or something. You know, she's saying like, you took everything from me, I believe is what she said. If we take a look over here, she's like, okay, let's look at this really quick. Can't think about it forever. Okay. Running out of time to choose. Okay. So you have this like rot, you know, Silent Hill does that a lot where, wait, I'm skipping a little ahead. Here you go. Yeah, so like the things like this, you know, elements of like basically rotten things are rotten, like food and deteriorated like structures and buildings, you know, these things are very much in line with what we've gotten in the past with the, you know, a lot of the Silent Hill games. There's always these elements of like the world being decrepit and like dying, right? And so far, all right, let me take this off because if anybody's eating, it's not going to be appetizing. But yeah, and then we have the character, you know, basically she seems tortured. She's apparently going through something. And so yeah, there's a lot going on here. So there's already, I think, the setup and this new trailer we got, Arlie is showing us a lot of things that we expect from Silent Hill. So it is a different setting, so it kind of throws me off a little bit because there's so many other great games that have been set in Japan, whether it's, you know, like I said, Sirens is a good example. I'm forgetting about the camera. What's the camera? Oh man, give me a sec. Fatal Frame. That's it. Yeah. So, you know, we have a lot of, it kind of throws me off a little bit, the setting in Japan. Not that I don't like it. I'm curious to see what they do with this. But we already have a lot of games that in many ways were inspired by Silent Hill, whether it's Fatal Frame, you know, they have like, I think it's 4 or 5 games, and they brought one out. I think one came out like maybe a year or two ago. And so we already have a lot of games like that, and obviously Sirens, which are already set in Japan. And so this Silent Hill game kind of like harkens to that in a way, but I think they're definitely keeping in mind what makes Silent Hill from what I'm seeing so far. Of course, this is just one trailer, right? So let's keep watching this and see what else we got. But so far, I'm actually liking it. Again, we got a lot of elements here and themes, I think, that in terms of a tortured person and the world around them, you know, adapting and being a metaphor or a personification of their feelings and their tortured past or their trauma, right? And this girl, the main character, seems to be somebody that is very tortured, right? So she seems to be going through something, and the statement of you got to make a choice like makes it this freaking camera, bro. So anyways, so we do have a lot of elements here that I think hopefully will, you know, do Silent Hill justice. But anyways, let's come back. I think I stayed around here. Say your farewells. Oh no. Wow, the graphics look amazing. Oh my god. Ugh. Body horror. Ugh. Okay, Silent Hill F. Dude, that looks awesome. Alright, so we have the story over here. So Shimizu Hinako was living her life as an ordinary teenager. That is until her town is suddenly shrouded in fog and begins to change in a horrific way. Yep, classic Silent Hill. Now she must explore a town she no longer recognizes while solving puzzles, fighting strange enemies, and doing everything she can to survive in order to face the ultimate decision that she must make. This is a tale about a beautiful yet terrifying choice. Okay, I wonder what that choice is going to be now. This is this is interesting where normally in Silent Hill, we have somebody, the protagonist, going to Silent Hill, or whether it's Silent Hill 1, 2, or 3, going to Silent Hill and then dealing with the phenomenon of the mist world or the fog world and the other world, right? So this is kind of cool where the main character's town basically goes through the phenomenon of the Silent Hill effect, which, fun fact, I believe it's in Silent Hill 4, and if anybody knows, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's either Silent Hill 4 or no, actually it's a short letter or short message or whatever that's called, the one that came out, that was a free game, that was a first person game, and you play as this girl, and basically whatever. The point is that in that game, which came out I think last year or the year before that, they actually had a part of there was a part of the game where like you're receiving basically mail through the phone or emails through your phone, and then you see I think it's an email, or maybe it's you find a newspaper article or something in a building or a house or something. But anyways, I remember there was an excerpt where they add this, basically I think they were setting up for Silent Hill F, where they say that there's a Silent Hill, what they call a Silent Hill effect or something like that, or phenomenon, where there's other towns other than Silent Hill going through a similar experience of fog world or other world or things like that. So potentially this is kind of continuing that like lore or mythology of instead of Silent Hill being the town that is affected by this phenomenon of people having a different experience, with the fog world and the other world. Now it's like, oh, it's not only Silent Hill, like it expands beyond that. It's more of a global phenomenon, which I'm not sure how I feel about it. I kind of like the idea of Silent Hill being really the only place that goes through that because of the mythology behind the town and the cults and all that stuff. It really, like, originally, the lore was really tied to that town, and it was very specific to that. But little by little, I think with Silent Hill 4, they started like expanding to like, oh, okay, now the Silent Hill phenomenon or whatever actually happens in other places. Because in Silent Hill 4, you do go to Silent Hill, but parts of the game are not in Silent Hill, and then you have a similar experience. But there's explanation for that. But anyways, not to get into that. Let's continue watching the video. Right, let me skip a little. Okay.
日本が舞台であり、和を特徴と取る F ですが、まずは改めてコンセプトを教えてください。
はい、本作品のコンセプトは美しいがゆえにおぞましい。サイレントヒルシリーズの核である最高の力ホラーとしての要素は残しつつも、従来のにして日本を舞台にし、的な作品となります。日本のホラーの一つの特徴は美しさを宿っていることです。
Oh, I like that. I like that horror can be found in beauty, and now that kind of explains the theme or one of the themes of this game and why the other world is, revolves around flowers, beauty. So that's already interesting, because every Silent Hill game, for the most part, like kind of adapt or changes the look and feel of the other world. Definitely there's several games that have a similar look, like Resident Evil 1, 3, and Resident Evil Origins. Very similar in terms of the other world aesthetic, but Silent Hill, I think it's 2. The other world has similarities, but it's not as much as like metallic and rot or like metal rot. It's more, honestly, I forgot the exact, but there's differences. But yeah, I'm liking the theme, and I like that they acknowledge that, that there is a reason why they're setting it in Japan. So I'm interested to hear more. Let's see. dive deeper in Silent Hill F.
ゲストの
Okay.
方にお越しいただきましょう。ストーリーを
Please
担
welcome
当
the
されてい
scriptwriter
る
to.
どうぞ
Okay, so we learn a little about the story.
よろしくお願い
Let's
し
see
ま
what they
す。
say.
龍騎士07さんです。よろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
さあ岡本さん、龍騎士さんといえば日暮らしの泣く頃になど部品を世に送り出すコンクレントヒルシリーズには初参加ということでの経緯教えてください。
日本を舞台にしたサイレントヒルを作り上げるにあたって
Okay, so I don't want to take up too much time on this, so let me just skim forward. I just want to see. Definitely, I'll leave the link in the description for you guys if you want to watch the whole thing. But I just kind of want to see more, maybe trailers or gameplay, something like that. So let's just skim through.
ここにはそう、この狐の像がそう
Now, I will say this. One thing that I love about this is that, in terms of the new setting, is that in terms of Japan, its culture, its history, it's always, as a foreigner myself from Japan, it's always come out very supernatural. And maybe that has to do with all the anime that I consume and all the video games that I play and, that either take place in Japan or from Japanese creators. And, I've just always found it so interesting. That's why Japan is the number one place that I want to travel to one day. It's on the top of my bucket list of places I want to go visit. And so one thing I do have to say is I never thought of it, but it's kind of cool that they're, I guess making an effort to try something else in a different setting like Japan with Silent Hill, because I feel like Japan does elevate the aspect of the supernatural and the mystery and the horror as well. I mean, if any of you have watched any Japanese or even horror movies from the East, there's some great stuff. I mean, whether you're talking about the original Grudge or the original Ringu, which is much better than the American adaptation, or even in I think it was Netflix, they came up with a series based on The Grudge, I believe it was, or based on The Ring. I think it was based on The Ring, if I'm not mistaken. No, The Grudge. And it was a prequel series, and that was an amazing series. I absolutely loved it. But there's something about Japanese horror and horror from the East that is just on another level. They do horror great. I mean, one of my favorite mangaka is Junji Ito. Just making sure I'm saying that right. But yeah, I got Uzumaki and Tomi there. So yeah, Junji Ito, a godfather of horror, manga horror. So they just those books are great and super demented, but super creative too. So keeping that in mind, I think Japan might be a great setting for this. Again, I'm still kind of very tied to Silent Hill and the original concept of it being set in that town and people coming to that town having a different experience depending their trauma or their past or whatever they're dealing with, and the town being a metaphor or being a reflection of who they are and what they've done and all that stuff. But this concept of taking those elements into a setting in Japan, I think probably will, it should work well in theory, just because of, everything that's come before set in Japan, whether it's video games, movies, and all that. I think Japan is such a great setting for horror and supernatural, again, because of the history and the culture and all that. Okay, so they're explaining why they set it in Japan, however, as based in the West for the longest time. So the Japanese influence was fading, and so this made us think to 100% Japan. Okay.
そのエッセンスが失われしとったからにしようという流れが話あったということでいいんですかね。
そうですね。
今エッセンスと、これ
Talked
が
about essence.
実はサイレントヒルらしさじゃないですけど、一つのポイントになって、それを舞台にしながらも日本のエッセンス
Japanese essence.
なかなかもう個性的
Okay.
なそのザ
Getting
っていう
playing
ところは
completely
また
into
ちょっと
Japanese
今までのサイレン
identity.
トヒルとは違うけど、新しいエッセンスかなと思います。
岡本
Okay, I like their explanation. That actually, I gotta give them credit. That makes sense. Hopefully, the final product turns out well. But I do like how they're explaining, right? So basically, the original Silent Hill games, especially those first 4 games, were created by Japanese studios, and it really was because of their sense of those Japanese game developers, their sensibilities, their culture, their perspective on horror and video games and survival horror and all that it's really because of that what made Silent Hill great, right? So it had a bunch of Japanese horror sensibilities brought into it that, like they said, like even though the game story and characters and everything that happened in those first 4 games and some other spin-offs were it was set in the US, the horror itself really was embodiment of Japanese horror. And that's one of the things that I agree with what they're saying, that it was the essence in terms of Silent Hill, and it was what made it so great, and what was lost in many ways after, I would say, The Room. After The Room, like everything that came after, even though I did like Origins, like it wasn't as good as those first 4, and then lost a lot. And don't get me started with Homecoming was trash, man. I'm sorry if anybody likes it, and I'll be honest, I played it like once or twice trying to get different endings, and I was just hoping it would get better the second time, and it did not. But anyways, that being said, I like their explanation of why they decided to go to Japan. It actually gets me a little more excited about the idea of playing a Silent Hill game set in Japan, just because I like that they're just trying to use it as a way to harken back to the original. Again, that's just them talking about it, and this whole video transmission is really just a marketing marketing campaign, or part of a marketing campaign. So at the end of the day, we really won't know until we get it, but it's actually getting me a little more curious, a little more excited about Silent Hill F. So let's see what else they say.
歴史あるゲームだからこそ、ユーザーと共につくからこそ、そのエッセンスが変わってきたんでしょうか。
そうですね。サイレントヒル非常にたくさんの作品を出して、その過程において徐々になんていうんですかね、中に宿っていたみたいなものがあって、一層大胆に日本100%にしたものもどうだろうということが今回のこのニュースの中にはなります。
そういった流れがあって、一気に振っていこうというところが、
そうですね。
F なんですけど、どのような立ち位置なんでしょうか。
今回の F に関しては
Independent story. Oh no, please. So those who haven't played the other games in the series can't. So it's not canon? Still find Easter eggs. Something for everyone. Plenty of mysteries. Okay. Alright. I was getting excited now. Honestly, I'm a little worried, because from the sound of what they're saying right now, they're saying that's a completely different story, or independent story. And I don't know if that means that, like they said, it's just for people who aren't fans of Silent Hill to be able to get into it. And then also, I guess it would appeal to Silent Hill fans. But already it's sounding like it's not canon, which I don't like. Now, maybe that's not what he means. Maybe he's just saying, like, since it's set in the 1960s, it would be everything, all the Silent Hills technically will come after it. So I guess in that way, they're not connected. But I hope that since it's called Silent Hill F, I hope they do tie it to the original games somehow. Of course, I don't want them to erase any of the stuff that happened before, or depending how you see it, like this is set in the 1960s, what happens after, and retcon anything. I hope they don't retcon anything, but yeah, it's a little worrying, because a lot of Silent Hill games that were not canon, like Shattered Memories, although that game really took off, and there was it has a big fan base, and I played it and I thought it was all right. Even though it was a fair game, honestly I didn't like that it really became its own thing, and really did something different with Silent Hill. What I originally thought Shattered Memories was gonna be was a remake of the original or reimagining of the original, which technically it was, but if you play that game, you know that it's completely different. Like even what Silent Hill is in that game, without getting into details, they just really basically did their own thing. So this so far, Silent Hill F, doesn't look like it's gonna be that. It looks like they're staying faithful to it, but in terms of the story and the statement from this gentleman that it's gonna be an independent story, it's a little bit worrying. But again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, and he's just saying it's, you know, it's separate, it's not connected to those stories, but doesn't mean that it's not canon. So let's see what else they say.
楽しんでいただける作品になっていると思います。
このサイレントヒルらしさっていうものは、龍騎士さんもやっぱりこう逆に冷や汗をかいたような部分がきっとあったと思うんです、途中から。でその中でサイレントヒル F は1960年代の日本が舞台となっているんですけれども、そのサイレントヒルを描く上で他にもいっぱいあるんですか？
全部はすでに僕は思ってるんですけども、結品書いてあると同時に様々な路線でがある。一番サイレントヒルという街から出た舞台が果たしてサイレントヒルとして成立、もちろん挑戦ですね。もちろん自信を持ってこれはサイレントヒルですと言えるんですけども、まずそこをサイレントヒルを長い方にどうというのを私たちも皆さんのご審判を見てみたいというところがある。だからさっきこれまでのサイレントヒルらしさをあれば、サイレントヒルではあまりしなかった挑戦、分かりやすいところでは日本の舞台ですね。といったようにさまざまな要素である種の冒険、なるべくこじんまりとサイレントヒルだから日本を舞台にしてもっていう、そういうってもうちょっとあるんだけど、その一方で
挑戦を忘れない。
その加減を非常に意識して作ったなと思います。
岡本さん、その挑戦の自信、ファンの皆さんにバチッと
Okay, let's move on, see what else they talk about. Still talking about more or less the same thing. All right, well, there you have it. So yeah, so far, I mean, it looks cool. You know, the aesthetic looks neat. I am kind of warming up to the idea of it being set in Japan, even though, again, my heart belongs in Silent Hill itself and Silent Hill proper. It would have been cool to maybe do like a prequel. I know there was Silent Hill Origins, but maybe something going in the 1960s but set in Silent Hill maybe would have been interesting, and see like the beginnings of everything that happened in Silent Hill in terms of the cult, how the cult started and all that stuff. Maybe that would have been cool. But I respect what the creators are saying in terms of setting it in Japan, because they felt that, you know, the series lost its way and the essence of Japan, you know, since the creators were I guess the creators of the original 4 games are Japanese, so it obviously has the sensibilities of the culture and everything. And so I do agree with what they're saying, that it lost the essence of that. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about it, guys. I mean, you let me know below what are your thoughts. I feel like this is a little bit lackluster personally, just because I'm kind of mixed on, you know, how excited I should be, especially since it's not set in Silent Hill. It's, you know, beyond Silent Hill, which is interesting, but I wonder, should it have been called, did I say that right? Should it be called Silent Hill? You know, maybe it could have just been called something else, and have some similarities to Silent Hill, but being its own game, you know, and Konami could have created a brand new IP, you know. So there are a lot of elements that yeah, I do notice that harken back to the originals, whether it's, again, having this main protagonist who's tortured. She seems to be going through something. Apparently there's this big decision she has to make that I imagine is connected to the town that she's from, where all this is happening. And so, you know, we do have that. We have the tortured protagonist. We have the fog world. We have the other world, which in this case is floral, like rotten and floral. And based on what the creators said, there is the theme of that there's even horror and beauty. So I do like that. I mean, it is interesting. It's different. And there's a lot of movies and shows that kind of touch on that in terms of beauty and horror. Just recently, the one with Demi Moore, I forgot what it's called, but basically, she's a young, older actress, and then she gets like plastic surgery, I think, to make herself look younger. But then I haven't watched the movie, but I heard there's like really tough scenes to watch because there's a lot of body horror to it. So, you know, that's an example. And there's other movies, of course, that right now I can't think of off the top of my head, but that I've seen and kind of involve the concept of beauty, whether it's within fashion or makeup or anything like that, and then like taking that and spinning it into like horror. A lot of times I've noticed it's body horror as well. So thinking about that in Silent Hill is different. So I respect that. You know, like I do really respect that they're trying something new. My only thing is that it's been so long since we get a proper Silent Hill. Like, yeah, we got Silent Hill 2 remake, which I absolutely am gonna play, and I love the original. But in terms of like a brand new story that is a full game, because yeah, we got that other short game, short note or short message or whatever it's called. But this is the first official like brand new Silent Hill we get, you know, a full game with a story and new world and everything, or new environment. And you know, it's quite a departure in terms of setting, of course. That being said, like I am just mixed on it. I don't know how to feel about it. I am looking forward to reviews and seeing what people say. And hopefully they're good and people, you know, talk, just talk well about it. And if that's the case, like I'll definitely play the game. Like I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm not hating. I don't want to hate on the game because it's set in Japan. Like if anything, like I said before, the idea of it being set in Japan is actually, in a way, does elevate the horror aspect of it and the supernatural aspect of it. So that is cool. I just don't know if it should have been called Silent Hill. But there is a lot of things, a lot of elements that they're included in everything. So at the end of the day, hopefully it's just a good game, right? That's all I could really hope for. I know they said it's independent from the other games, but I hope that doesn't mean that it's not canon. And I hope that they include some, like they say, they are going to include some Easter eggs. So maybe I'm reading too much into it and really it is going to be connected. It's just set in the past. So in that sense, it's not going to be a direct like prequel. You know, it's in the past and it's a different setting. So it's not going to be directly linked to like the characters or stories from the original games. But hopefully they do tie it up in a way where like we get an understanding of like how maybe where the religion or that cult got inspired, perhaps, the cult from Silent Hill. Like maybe this Silent Hill F will actually present like new lore into the mythology of Silent Hill, suggesting that whatever happened in Japan in the 1960s in Silent Hill F actually led to the cult of Silent Hill to get inspired. Or maybe there's actually like they believe in the same god or something like that. Like who knows? Like there's a lot of things that we could theorize, but there's so little that we have. So I'm not gonna get much more into it. Again, I just skipped ahead because I thought there was a lot there that you could all take time to really dive deep into it, and I'll do the same as well. And maybe I'll create some additional content following up on some of this stuff. But I'll definitely leave the link for you guys in the description so you could check it out and take your time, watch it. And other than that, I mean, pretty much, again, I'm a big Silent Hill fan. Hope that Silent Hill F will be good, and hopefully we get some other games that are actually set in Silent Hill. That's all I really want. I just want more games in Silent Hill. Separate story, and all that. But I guess in a way, I respect that they're expanding on the lore, they're expanding on the settings, and we did get little tidbits of that in like Silent Hill 4 and the recent short note or short message game. But anyways, what do you guys think? Are you interested in Silent Hill F? Is this something that you're curious about or interested in playing? Give me your theories, your thoughts about what this game could be about. I know there's not too much, but let's have a conversation. Give me what you're theorizing and your predictions of what this game might be about and how it might possibly or might not connect to the original lore. But anyways, guys, let us know your thoughts. And for the first 10 people who leave a comment, I'll personally send you a wallpaper image that is going to be inspired by the art of Silent Hill. This image is something that you could personalize with adding your name or something like that, and you could add it to your desktop computer screen or your mobile phone as well. I'll also send some instructions for you so you know what you have to do to be able to edit the image and put your own name if you want to within Canva. So with that, thank you for watching, and for everything else on gaming, comic books, anime, and the best online deals, sign up for our free weekly newsletter, Pop Pulse Digest. Until next time, I'm Antonio from ThyGeekdom.com. See you around.